Welcome to The Preferred List, a podcast about the people behind the best wedding days. I'm James, a wedding filmmaker. I've spent years in the industry working alongside incredible vendors, and this show is all about the real conversations with ones who make it happen. Whether you're a vendor or a couple, you'll get honest insight, good stories, and maybe a little inspiration along the way. Let's meet today's wedding vendors. Hey, Rob and Allie, how's it going?
Good,
Great.
how are you?
Glad to be here.
Good. I'm so glad to have you guys on. Rob and Allie run Nittany Valley Events. It's an event rental company here in State College. And I'm so excited to dive into more of what that all looks like for you guys and to hear about your experience. But before we do, we're still here at Harmony Forge Inn. Harmony Forge Inn is nestled into the rolling hills of Bellefonte, just 15 minutes away from Penn State. It features a historic house built in 1795, a newly remodeled creekside lodge, and a rustic barn with some modern touches. And you guys know, the owners here, fantastic people, and they're doing so much to the space to make it even better than what it was before. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stuff they're doing here. It's just like, it's so cool.
I wish I had a fourth of the energy that they had.
Casey and Billy have been great to us. They've
Yes.
helped recommend us and just really, brought us sort of on their team as vendors here, and
Yeah.
they've been great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so fun. And I feel like there's always something new that I hear Billy's working on. Like, there's always a new project, and they're always tackling it with, like you said, just so much energy and
I
excitement.
don't know when they sleep.
We were joking with him today. I was like, "How did you get off today?" Because he's working all the time
Yeah.
here or at work.
Yeah. You guys are in the event rental space. Tell me a little bit about how you guys got started. Where's all this begin for the two of you?
Sure. So we're coming up on year 2 right now. We probably about 2 years ago exactly is when we started talking about this. We officially got our LLC about 2 years ago in October. Allie's background is in event planning. She got a degree in recreation park tourism management here at Penn State, in specializing in event management. So she and her mom, for as long as I've known Allie, whether it's a birthday party or Thanksgiving or Christmas, go all out. So
Yes.
their basement is a treasure trove of decor and everything you can imagine. So for years, after various weddings and showers, we have friends, family say, "Hey, you still have that? You still have this? Can we borrow it?" And when Allie was between jobs, after having our baby, and it was time to go back to work, we kind of said, I think there's a space in that industry for us, and what do we have to lose? Let's give it a shot.
My biggest thing was I knew I was going to be, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also, I had these passions,
Yeah.
I've always said to him that I want to, have an event rental, or, our end goal is to have a venue one day. Like that's our goal. But I just wanted to be, be able to be a stay-at-home mom, create my own hours, but still be able to fulfill my passions that, I have. You don't have to, the world doesn't have to stop once you have a kid,
Yeah.
You can create your own hours, and, a lot of times she's helping me now.
Yeah.
So I have a little helper.
She has all the opinions,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Our biggest critic.
Quality control.
Yeah.
There you go. That's so fun. So it started out with a basement treasure trove of, was it like knickknacks that you're kind of like gathering, or was it like?
It was a lot of the stuff from our wedding, honestly, because me and my mom, we bought all the decor, we made a lot of the decor, and so it was a lot of it was mostly decor. And then once we started the business, we were like, we'll just keep it decor, we'll keep it small, keep it simple, and then it just kept growing.
Yeah.
People were like, "Well, I love your decor, but do you have tables and chairs?" And we're like, "I guess we should get those." And they're like, "Well, do you have linens?" I mean, might as well add them on. So, we kind of wanted to be like, let's be a one-stop shop instead of having to, go for, people to have to go to different vendors, try and make it easier and just one-stop shop.
Yeah. So you're, Rob, are you like in the basement and you're like, we could totally have an event rental space?
Well, I'm always, I guess I would say, wheeling and dealing. I'm always trying to figure out the next thing. So I'm looking at things and I'm like, we could really do a lot with this. And also one of my passions and something I've done for a long time is woodworking. So
Stop. Oh, we're going to have a whole podcast episode about woodworking.
I'd
I
be
love
happy
this.
to. I could turn this into a woodworking podcast
Yeah.
right now. But, a lot of weddings now, people see stuff on Pinterest, Etsy, other things. And a lot of people are looking for custom signs, custom
Yeah.
arch, custom, bars, all sorts of things. And there's no real place around here, at least, that you can just go and say, hey, I want this. So we sort of were like, we could get into this, but also have a custom personal spin on it where, hey, you need tablecloths and napkins, but also you want this custom sign or this custom bar, we could really work with people. And so Allie can work her passion into it with planning and managing, and I can, put that custom side to it.
Literally 5 minutes before we came here, he was putting polyurethane on farmhouse tables.
I love
So
that.
yeah,
Always.
like
I love that. Oh man, I want to talk about woodworking, but we need to talk about wedding things. No, I always said we had, when we had our house here in Bellefonte, we had 2/3 woodworking shop, which was slowly gathering all these tools, and 2/3 home gym, because everything was completely covered in sawdust. But also when we were working out, we just like took over the other part of the gym.
What else do you need?
Right? Good coffee and
Yeah.
you're set.
Right.
No, that's so fun. So were you guys like, were you guys business minded at first, or was it just like this could be a hobby that could kind of fulfill some of that like vision of still working after having your first kid?
Yeah. So for me, it was being able to be a stay-at-home mom, but I was to be able to make just a little bit of money here and there. Like it wasn't really like to profit or anything. It was just I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm trying to keep, I have a passion for this and a little side hustle, just something fun and to be able to help people. That's kind of where it started, and now it's, taken over. It's so much more than we thought it was ever going to be in the best way possible.
I think side hustle is a perfect
Yeah.
word for that. That I don't think we were ever against it getting big, but we were like, hey, you know what? If this can keep us busy and make a little bit more money, and Allie still has that flexibility to do what she wants to do, then great. And if it turns into something bigger, then even
Yeah,
better.
because when I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, we were fully, like I know that I'm not going to be making an income, but
Yeah.
that's okay because that's the sacrifice that we wanted to make. But if I can make it work and be able to make my own hours, stay at home with my daughter, and make a little bit of extra money, then it's perfect.
Yeah. So how does you have, I think I remember background in like planning.
Yeah.
How does that planning stuff fit in with the event rental? Because you're not coordinating or planning for these couples. You're just kind of helping them figure out like what's going to work best for their space. Like how does
Yeah.
all that work?
Yeah. So I would say with me with the event planning background was just being able to picture everything all together. So helping them realize like, okay, so you rented just chairs and tables. So like let me look at the bigger picture of all this. Like I know how, weddings happen. Would you like to, here's my suggestion on things that I think would help, at your wedding. So
Yeah.
like you only, or if they're asking, I have this size tent and, how many tables and chairs do you think would fit under there? I mean, it doesn't take an event planning degree to figure that out, but it just helps when you have the oversight of like how everything goes from start to finish to be able to help them because, I've been to weddings, I've, helped plan events and stuff like that. So it's just to be able to see, how it starts and ends. A lot of the times this is their first wedding and hopefully only wedding.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have all this experience. So I like to just be able to, if they want any advice, I'm here to help them as much as I can.
Yeah. So what kind of, I mean, you touched a little bit, Rob, on like the custom side of it, but like what kind of things are you seeing most couples coming through and renting from the two of you?
So like Allie said, we started off with, we're just going to keep it small. It's just going to be decor. But then people are like, well, hey, we like this stuff, but do you have tables? Do you have chairs? So a lot of the bulk of what we put out is similar to other event rental companies: tables, chairs, tents, flatware, linens, plates. But we also offer that extra, tying up the loose ends, the finer details, the custom aspect. So the bulk of what we do is, to draw in clients, people are looking for tables and chairs. Well, if they can get tables and chairs from one place or get them from the other place and also grab, those little finer details that they want as well, then even better. So that's a lot of what we do, but we also have a lot of people reach out specifically for something maybe custom and then say, oh, I didn't realize that you did this as well. Maybe we'll just turn this into a one-stop shop.
our biggest thing that I like to still focus on. Now we have like tables and chairs just like everybody else has. But we have like assorted vintage floral plates, and that's not something that you can just go, and grab. Not a lot of people have that. So
Yeah.
I like to try and find those little like, one-off things where it's something really cool, eclectic. We have like assorted colored goblets, and you can't just go and find those anywhere. So I like to kind of focus on those things too because they're unique and they make us stand out.
We
Yeah.
actually, just on that point, we have a wedding in New Kensington near Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. For it started with just our floral plates
Hmm.
because you can't just go to the average place and say, "Hey, I want 200 assorted vintage floral china plates,"
Nor
and I
would you
want
probably want to buy that many.
And collecting it
takes
is
a
a whole other
long
story.
takes a
Yeah.
long time to get them.
Yep.
But then from there, they said, "Well, actually, how about linens? How about this?" And that built it into a much
Yeah.
bigger event. But we're 2 hours away from there, and they found us and said, "Hey, you've got what we want."
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned something about like the collecting side of it. Um, how much has your collection sort of grown over that time from like the basement of like we have some stuff and now we have like a lot of options?
That's like a fun question. People are always like, where do you store all of this stuff? That's a great question. Do you have 10
Everywhere.
minutes? Because yeah. But yeah, a lot of it is collecting, building it up. Like even just on Sundays, he'll go to Goodwill for like 2 hours and just look through like plates and stuff like that to build up our inventory. It's not like you can just, go to Amazon and buy more. That's not how the vintage, stuff works. You have
Yeah.
to look, find, make sure it's good quality. So it's time consuming, but it's worth it because that stuff is beautiful.
We're always on Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah.
and because that's one thing that I think that we do a lot different than other event rental businesses is we don't just have things that you could go out and grab,
Yeah.
you know, 2 days before your wedding.
Yeah.
We see things that we think, well, that would really fit in, and that's unique. And um, we saw an old busted tea cart for like $2 on Facebook Marketplace. I said I
Yeah.
could fix that up, and now we have a nice white tea cart that's gone out for a couple, um, you know, bridal showers and events like that. Um, we we have a greenery wall like backdrops. You can't just go to the store and grab one, but um, we built them or we found them on Facebook Marketplace and sort of created this collection of things that we think that people would be looking for.
Yeah. So I could imagine, you said something earlier, couples are doing this for the first time. I mean, there's probably hundreds of items to choose from. How do you help them like get started in that process? Like where do you direct them? Do you find a lot of couples like come with a bunch of like I want this, I want that, or they're like I don't know what I want, I need help?
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of both, depending on if so there's two different ways. So sometimes they'll go onto our website and place like an order, which is basically a wish list to make sure that it's available on that date. And so then I can kind of see their vibe from there. And then, I can offer different ideas. We even have our rentals listed on Facebook Marketplace so they can come
Oh,
from
cool.
there just so that people can see it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes even people message me and they're like, I love these plates, but obviously they haven't like been able to look at our website or anything. So then I'll send them our website and say, take a look. Like if you like these plates, there's, other stuff that's similar to that. Take a look, and let us know, what you would like. So it comes from two different avenues, but there are some people who are literally like, I don't have any idea. And, I've used ChatGPT a couple of times to show them like we've got a picture of their venue. And I'm like, okay, so this is what it would look like with these tables, chairs.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that helps too.
So the AI is like giving you some visual to what
Yeah.
you would have maybe been like, well, it kind of looks maybe like that.
I'm a visual person, so like
Yeah.
the ChatGPT AI thing has helped me a lot. And I know you want to be able to see it. I mean, obviously, like you want to trust them, but then, like you're like, are you sure that's gonna look okay? I'm like, no, it will look on ChatGPT, I promise.
Yeah. So it seems like couples are kind of like either in two camps. They have a lot of ideas or they kind of have like no ideas. Do you have advice for couples in either camp on like what are some more nice to haves or like what are some essentials for different maybe different parts of the day or just like in general?
Well, I think wedding planners definitely have helped a lot of our clients out with that. Where Allie, I use myself as an example all the time. My wedding would have, if it was up to me to plan it, there would have been some tables, maybe chairs, bowls of chips, sodas, like beers. It would have been bland.
Yeah.
When you have somebody like a wedding planner who has that vision, I think that's where it turns from tables, chairs, plates, cups to, all right, we could have some uplighting here. And what about some drapery from the ceiling here? And how about we put this accent couch in the corner? And that's where it really starts to go from just necessities to how could we really like spruce this up?
And there's necessities too. Like obviously you need cups for someone to drink out of. You have our regular goblets that are obviously cheaper, and then you have our etched goblets, which are a little bit more, but that's an upgrade. You don't absolutely need to have etched water goblets or the assorted colored water goblets. They're a little bit more, but that's not something you absolutely need. So there's always upgrades, but like you can always start, with just the basics, then we can go from there.
Yeah, obviously you need something to drink out of.
Right.
And the assorted colored goblets are very cute.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't need to go
need
the extra mile on that part. How do you help couples with like the budget side of things? Are they coming to you like saying, hey, we want to spend X amount, what can we do with it? Or are they coming more with like, we want this stuff, how much is it going to be?
Yeah, it's the second one that you said. So we send out quotes. So they put and on our website, everything is technically priced at zero, but the price is in the title because we don't want them to pay when they check out, because we have to check to make sure it's available.
Gotcha.
We have enough. So our biggest thing is they just, submit their wish list and we create a quote and we'll email it to them. We'll say, hey, and I always suggest, if they reach out to us before they order, I say, add absolutely everything that you would want, and then we can always remove. You want to know how much you like add everything and see what that total is going to be, and then we can remove back down, into more of your price range if it's out of it.
Yeah.
We found that if someone comes to us with a vision for whatever, as long as it's within reason, we can't do everything for $30.
Yeah.
But you don't need to spend $10,000 to get that vision. You could probably do the same thing for $2,000 that you could do for $10,000, and the average person's not going to look at it and have any idea that there's that much of a difference. It might be the difference between a different kind of napkin, or instead of this style chair, let's do this one that's a couple bucks cheaper but still looks really good. And we can really work within that budget. But I think we do a really good job of giving as many options as possible so people don't have to settle. They may not get the top tier of everything they wanted just, so that they can save a little bit of money, but they don't settle for a lesser finished product. They can really get that finished product that they want for what price they want. And we try to stay really competitive, and I think we're really reasonable and keep people on track.
Yeah, the biggest thing is having options. Like you said, the goblets, from the regular ones or to the etched ones. Our chairs the same way. We have chairs for $1.25 all the way up to $6, so it's depending on what you want, but there's options.
Yeah. And I feel like that gives couples a chance to be like, maybe we want to spend less on a chair and more on drapery or some other element that might add more to what their vision is.
Yeah, and with the quote, they can see, okay, so let's not spend that much. Let's go and get those, other goblets. So they can kind of price it all out and see what it is for them.
Something super important that we actually didn't mention yet is, since we're still relatively new, we're building our inventory like crazy still. So somebody may go and price everything out for their wedding and say, wow, that's going to be $6,000. Well, if they come to us and say, hey, do you have some of this stuff? We might already have some of it. And if they say, hey, do you have this? And we don't, we might say, no, we don't have it, but, we're building our inventory. So right now, the only way they were going to obtain it was by spending X amount of dollars to buy it. Hey, we're looking to expand our inventory. Let's cut that price in half for you. We'll buy them for you. We'll rent them out. And that way you get what you want, but you're not stuck with footing the full bill to buy them. You don't have to get rid of them afterwards. You don't have to store them.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? Because who wants cupcake stands after your wedding?
I know.
And where are you putting them?
It was so funny. My wife and I sold half the things to the venue after the wedding.
And that's also a fun thing too, because that's what people do to us too. Literally, 2 weekends ago, she was like, I don't want these gold candlesticks. Do you want them? I'm like, absolutely. They're beautiful. Yes.
So I think that helps clients, is that they can come to us and be like, we want this look, but it's going to cost us this much. Basically, what can you do it for?
Yeah.
And it may cost us more up front, and we're eating some of that cost right away, but we're building our inventory. So we
Yeah.
can do it for them cheaper than they could do it for themselves, just because we're going to buy something and then charge them less for it, but it's helping us to expand our business
Yeah,
in the
and
end.
then you have more options for
Yeah.
couples
Right.
that come in later.
So
Yeah.
basically, the choices are endless. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if it's not on our site, you just ask us about it.
Yeah. What are some common misconceptions that couples have in this like event rental, kind of developing a look for their venue?
I think people probably think that they have to come with everything, have all their dot all their I's, cross all their T's. People can come to us and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this kind of theme. What do you suggest?" And we'll throw a lot of choices and ideas their way. We don't do the day of planning per se, but they don't need to come to us and say, "I need 200 of this, this, and this." They can come to us and say, "Hey, I have a 200 person wedding. Kind of going for this. What do you suggest?"
Yeah. I feel like that it takes a lot of pressure off of couples
Right. Yeah.
to
Because
be able to like, I like this theme. I like these kinds of things.
they'll send us their mood boards on Pinterest. I've worked with that. Like,
Yeah, pictures
and
are great. Just, hey, I
when-
like that.
Yep.
My friend had this wedding. Can you do something like this for me?
yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's so fun. Do you find more couples are coming with less of an idea, or is it kind of like in between?
I wouldn't say, I would say most people come with 75% complete ideas of what they want. And then we're
and
able
then
to
they'll
just,
see our website or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, I love that. Like, let's add this," or something like that. So I think they come with something, and then it just adds on from there.
Yeah.
They have like a little bit of an idea, but then things on our website spark their interest or spark their ideas, and
we definitely pride ourselves in being personable.
Yeah. Like, I
That-
give them my phone number. I'm like, text me. Like, because, sometimes we're out in deliveries or,
Yeah.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I can't always answer the phone. I'm like, seriously, text me. Like, if you have a question or if you're unsure of something, like, text me.
I feel like
So,
we've become friends with clients. Like
Yeah.
the last thing I want someone to feel is that it is a strictly business
Yeah.
transaction. And I genuinely mean that.
Yeah.
That sounds like anybody would say that. Oh, we're not just a business. We're a family. That's
Yeah.
so cliche, but no, I don't want someone to feel like, oh, we got some stuff from Nittany Valley events, but I don't really remember their names. I don't know where they were. No, like, it's Rob and Allie. We have our company, but it's Rob and Allie, and they helped us with this. We talked on the phone about this. I mean, Allie's had 30-minute conversations with people on the phone,
Yeah.
just planning, their themes with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun. I'm getting this idea of like couples wanting their setup, their venue to be unique, right? Because there could be 100 couples that get married here at Harmony Forge, but like, how do they get with the rentals? How do they get that unique look that maybe they have in mind or don't have in mind starting the planning process? But how do they get that unique look from the rentals?
Yeah. I would say with the amount of options that we have, you could have 10 weddings here from us and like they could all be totally different. Starting from like, we have gold silverware, we have silverware, all the different colors of chargers that you have, the linens that is endless. The amount of colors and styles and finishes that you could have on that. So you could go, there's like endless opportunities. Like I said, you could have 10 weddings here and they look all different and you'd be like, oh, it's all from the same company, because there's just so many different options. Like, you can make it boho, you could, make it vintage. There's all different styles that you can go.
Yeah.
The way that we source a lot of our inventory also means that you're not really limited. It's
Right.
not just, there's the same curtains we saw last week from Nittany
Gotcha.
Valley events.
Yeah.
We might not have them, but we'll get them.
Yeah.
So really the inventory to an extent is unlimited, because we will help you find what you want.
Or like he said, he makes custom pieces. So there could be someone in there who has something custom and that's one of a kind. It's completely different.
I've
So,
got farmhouse tables right now in my garage. I'm making an archway for somebody in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
so it's
we
something.
got contacted about a 14-foot round bar that they're still thinking about. We may do a 14-foot 4-piece round bar
I'm
with
excited
a
about
wedding
this.
platform for something.
Casual.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a big build, but I'm excited to do it
Yeah.
if we get that. So
And that's what's exciting because it's his passion and my passion like put together. Like
Yeah.
what could be better
I
than
don't
that?
feel like I'm putting hours into it. That's my time. I
Yeah.
go home and sure I'm working, but I go home and I put my headphones on and
Yeah.
I'm doing what I like to do.
Sounds enjoyable.
It is.
Literally, I had my friend over. He was doing a lot of the woodworking with me, and we would be in there, and we'd look at the clock, and it's like, wow, it's 3 a.m. We should probably.
Yep.
Yep.
I know that feeling.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's so fun. What's it look like for you guys working with planners, venues, like all these other vendors? Because we are all kind of taking like a little piece of the pie to kind of come together to make a day happen. Like, what's that collaborative process look like for you guys?
I would say first off, the biggest thing is communication. Like like all the a lot of the event planners, like I text them, so it's helpful to be on that level, and even the vendors too. Like we love all the different vendors that we've worked with, and it's helpful because we probably have their phone numbers too. So we're always like texting each other day of like, hey, we need help with this, or can you do that? You know, I'm sure Rob has examples of different times that we worked with the vendors, but like I said, they're saints. Like what they do is absolutely amazing.
I think us being we got married 6 years ago, and I think us, remembering our wedding and how stressful day of stuff is,
Yeah.
makes us, that much more willing to go that extra mile on day of or leading up to it. So we'll get a text from an event planner like, hey, do you have 30 of these real quick? And if we do, we do. If we don't, I'm going to give them the best answer of how we might be able to
Or point them in the right direction of like, hey, we don't, but there's another event rental company that might. You want to check with them. Like we'll lead you in the right direction. We won't just leave you hanging.
So building those relationships and hearing the positive feedback and like I think it's important that we said earlier, it started as a hobby, not a business. So to feel like we're really truly helping somebody out, and even if it's just a text at the end of the night that's like, hey, thanks for saving us earlier. Or we've had brides on Fridays say, hey, my linens got screwed up, can you guys get us
Yes.
stuff tomorrow? And the satisfaction of being able to help somebody out, when it's a little detail, it's not a little detail. I mean, it might seem like a little detail to some, but that's a huge thing to the bride. And to be able to help them out or help out the other vendors, spur the moment and make a difference for that day is really gratifying.
I mean, from the way you're answering the question to me, you're putting couples, and even maybe not even your couples, like other people's couples, like above the idea of like we need to make more money or
Oh,
be
for
better
sure.
than another rental company or whatever
And
that might be.
Yeah.
Of course, again, it's going to sound cliche, like it's not about the money. Sure, we want to do well in our business, but I'll trade profit for knowing that I genuinely just made somebody's day better. If I was going to make $100 off of something, or just see somebody that thankful that we helped them out when they were in a pinch, I'll take that over the money any day.
Yeah.
If we just keep doing business, the money will come eventually, and the gratification and just knowing that we're helping people. And we've received thank you notes in the mail from brides before, and like the thank you cards that they sent out to their guests, and it was just totally unexpected. We were like,
But that's like
we just helped
all
you.
the hard work is worth it for
Yeah.
that. And to even see like pictures afterwards, like I'm like, oh my gosh, like just the way, because sometimes we deliver it and like they're in totes, and I'm like, I kind of know what they're gonna do with it, but like until we see pictures afterwards, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was such a good idea with what they did with that. There could be 5 like of the same item going to 5 different weddings, and they've styled it 5 different ways, and that's what's so fun is to be able to like see their creativity.
Yeah. So are you guys doing a lot of like on-site styling and prep? Or are you mostly just like delivering?
Delivering right now because
Okay.
it's just us, and like eventually we would love to get to that point to be able to help with setup and stuff like that, but since it's just us, a lot of the times it's if there's something that requires setup like our tents and stuff, we require that we set it up, so there's that kind of setup. But if it's like decor and stuff like that, we would just drop it off whenever they ask, and then we'll pick it up whenever they ask.
Yeah.
In this market, I think we definitely see either people are kind of doing everything themselves,
Yeah.
or they're hiring an event planner.
Yeah.
So if they have a planner, then usually they're doing
The
a lot of that
planners are
setup.
usually the ones like
Gotcha.
getting everything out of the totes, setting it all up.
And
for
if they're
them.
doing it themselves, they're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
But along the way, especially to the people that are kind of DIYing everything, we try to help them with that vision. Some people completely have it, but if you're
Yeah.
like me, like I said, she could give me 300 totes of stuff, and
It would still be 300 totes of stuff. for
Yeah,
me.
he'd be like, "Why
none
get
of
it
it would
out?"
be
Because
none
we're
of
just
it
gonna
would
make
be
a
touched.
mess.
I'd just be like,
The paper plates do just fine.
"What do you mean? We didn't need? I learned what a charger was a couple years ago."
Yes,
Yeah,
very
it is
proud of
funny
him.
when they try to take the chargers up to get the food. It's like, don't take
Yeah,
the charger,
please don't.
please.
I was like,
That would have been
why
him.
why do you need something under your plate? She's like,
Yeah.
it's for decoration. Yeah, but why do you need that?
It charges your
A
plate.
charger is something that it doesn't just charge your phone.
Yeah. What's some things that you guys wish other vendors knew about your process or about like the event rental side of things?
Our
I would-
process, I guess, that the process is so fluid that there is no, we will deliver this day, we will pick up this day, we will do this, we will. It's, hey, what do you need? I mean, it is literally, what do you need from us, and how can we help you with it? Now, of course, we've only been around 2 years. Say a couple years down the road, are we going to be able to just say, sure, we'll do a delivery on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all an hour away from here? Like,
Yeah.
no, we're going to have to consolidate some stuff and work on logistics. But, there's a process, but it's so fluid that I just want people to know that, they don't have to have any idea what they want, when they want it, how they want it done. Just come to us with an idea and we'll help out.
Like we firsthand know that things change. Like that's our biggest thing is like we're flexible. Like we get it, RSVPs are coming in. Like things are changing. We try and be as flexible, as we can with as things change.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you almost have to be. I mean, we're flexible day of as a wedding videographer. Like you have to just like roll
Right.
with the
Mhm.
punches.
Yeah.
When stuff does come up, like how are you guys handling like the last minute changes? Maybe it's like maybe more so on like the couples that you're specifically working with, maybe not the random planner text or stuff like that, but like how are you guys handling those last minute changes?
So, I mean, luckily with Amazon and stuff now, we're able to get stuff really quick. So if
Our
someone says,
suppliers are
"Oh my
pretty
gosh, I
good.
forgot a card
Yeah.
box and I really like this one," if we can get it for you by tomorrow, we will.
Yeah.
But we also have a really good relationship with vendors. So
And
we're not
other, yeah,
afraid to
rental
reach out and say,
companies, yeah.
"Hey, we need somebody that needs this." And I
And
actually have
other-
to go
they've-
talk to
yeah.
Billy after this because we have somebody that needs a little bit different style of a chair. I have to go talk to Billy and look at some of their chairs in the barn to see if I can borrow a few for a wedding. So our inventory is bigger than just ours. We're really able to be flexible and help people out last second by
Yeah.
calling on other resources.
Because
And
other rental companies have reached out to us. Like we're taking
Yeah.
6-foot tables that they don't have to another vendor. So it's like we're not offended that like we're happy to help out where we can. Like we obviously know that there's going to be other event rental companies. Like
Yeah.
we're not going to be the only one, and we're not offended because that just means more rental companies is more options for other people, and that's what I'm happy about.
And so those last minute things, if we can't make it happen, they're going to
Yeah.
understand, because I mean, the only way that we won't make it happen is if we physically can't make it happen.
Right.
We do everything we can to try to, and I think people just appreciate that effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, what has your business kind of like changed over the 2 years that you've been in business? So you started, obviously like the inventory has grown, but even just like process or things you've learned over those 2 years, thinking more like entrepreneurial side of things.
We learn
A
something
lot.
new every day. Like every day. Like
We-
and I'm appreciative of that because no day is ever the same. Like we're learning something new, a better way to build our business or a better way to organize ourselves or taxes. Like those are so confusing.
Taxes, ugh.
There's a lot of business stuff right up front that obviously we didn't know anything about. That is
Yeah.
slowly, we're figuring out, but we've streamlined a lot of things.
Yeah.
Put money into, software that we can use,
Yes.
extra storage. I bought a box truck, to make deliveries easier. So
We were using we at first we're just using his truck, like,
Yeah.
and then we were like, this isn't going to work. And we bought a covered trailer that worked, but then we needed like a ramp. So then we upgraded to the box truck, and that's been like amazing.
Yeah.
So I guess other than the inventory, it's slowly evolved to make everything more streamlined and allow for us to, as just a husband and wife duo, handle a lot more, keep things organized. We've definitely invested a lot of money back into things just to make it so that we won't plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah, or burn ourselves out. Like, there's you have to put money into software and to, different things so that you don't burn yourself out. Like you have to be able to have some things to help you along the way and to be organized and so we don't
Yeah,
forget things.
organization.
Yeah.
Dude, if I didn't have Honeybook, I would not make it to any of the weddings.
We'll have to look at
We
that.
just started using something called Good Shuffle,
Yeah.
which is like
Shout out.
yeah. This is not a paid promotion.
Yeah, it's not. It could
If
be.
you want
Good
to.
Shuffle. I don't know what you are, but
Yeah.
It's like QuickBooks, but it's for event rental, and it's just made our lives so much
perfect.
easier because now we can. I felt like we were personal before, but now we can be even more personal because we're spending a tenth of the time
Yeah.
on the background paperwork side of every
Where
client.
I can put more into the clients, into finding new, items for our business and stuff like that. So yeah.
No, I feel like there's a whole, like, maybe 4 or 5 categories as a business owner that you jump into the moment you're like, yeah, we'll try this.
Yeah.
You're like, you're marketing, you're running the thing, like CEO kind of thing. You got the taxes.
Yep. I didn't know
gotta-
what boosting a post was. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, boosting? I'm like, okay. Well, now I do it all the time.
Yeah. Not from your iPhone though, right?
No, from
You pay 30% more if you do it from
no
your iPhone.
way.
Yeah.
What?
Wow, well, we learned something new today.
Yeah.
Well-
You want to do it from the back end, like on your computer, like business.facebook.com.
You know how we just said we learn something new every day?
Learn
There you go.
something new.
From an iPhone, there's like an Apple tax that you have to pay.
No way.
30%.
Learn something new.
See?
I mean, Boost and Post it works, does things that are good, like more followers and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pay more for your iPhone.
Wow.
Huh. Glad we know that.
Yep.
No,
Talk
that's
about
so-
streamlining things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many things I feel like as a business owner that you get thrown into, and you're like, I have no idea.
And again, the store started as like a hobby, not we're opening a business. And then it was sort of like, all right, well, now we do have to get an LLC. Well, now we do have to get business insurance. Now we do have to do, and now it's a full blown
Yeah.
business.
What if someone jumps off one of your chairs and break their legs?
I know, right?
Yeah. Like, yep. What do you mean we have to get like a legal
jinx us.
rental agreement?
Oh yeah, right.
Like,
We don't
what
want to
if-
use the insurance. We just want to pay for
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see trends like shifting? I mean, not to sound like mean, but it's only been 2 years.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen some trends shifting in the 2 years? And like, where do you see things kind of going and like the way people are decorating for weddings and all that?
I would say me just being in the event industry for what, 8 years,
Yeah.
like in various different jobs, it's always like the colors are constantly changing. I think every year like a new color palette comes out for a wedding. So like, a lot of the times like this year it was like the light blues and the sage greens and stuff like that. But like next year that could be like completely out. I think every year is a new color palette, which is exciting because then there's different things. That's the biggest change that I see.
I think we probably haven't seen, so we know that that's like a thing that's just going to be cyclical. It's going to change from year to year. Not necessarily, I can't necessarily say that I've seen this in the industry in 2 years, but just with the way the world's going and AI and stuff, 20 years ago, I think you had a lot of people that weddings had tables, chairs, plates, candles on the table.
Yeah. Very simple.
Like there wasn't a whole lot of different stuff. 10 years ago, okay, there's a lot of Pinterest, a lot of Etsy. People are finding different ideas. 5 years ago, different Instagram and Facebook influencers and now with AI being such a big thing now, I mean, the possibilities are like endless. 2 people could have the same idea, take a picture of the same venue, type in the same sentence with one different word, and they have 2 totally different, now pictures of what they might want. So the ability of people to kind of brainstorm different things, I think, is going to keep us on our toes. And I like that because it's just going to keep expanding things and allowing us to not have that cookie cutter interaction with a client, which is fine. If someone just needs 10 tables and 20 chairs, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of fun with, hey, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah.
And kind of having some say in that.
It seems like I've heard you guys talk so much about that like kind of custom experience with the 2 of you, and even like some of the things that you're making, and like AI is not really going to replace that side of it, but
Hmm.
it seems like the technology and all the things that are happening are just giving people more ideas
Yeah.
For
to run
sure.
with, and even probably giving you guys some more ideas to run with
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
absolutely. I love it. Like when like I said, a lot of the times there's brides are like, "Hey, I don't want this afterwards. Do you want this?" And I'm like, "I love what you did with that." Like, yes. Like that's a cool part too because they're giving us ideas.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. How do you guys see your business growing like in the next 5 years? Do you see it changing much? Like what does that kind of look like for you guys? Like thinking like a little bit more, long term.
Well, past 5 years, we'd love to have a venue one day, like what Billy and Casey have here. Of course, we don't want to compete, but there's a lot of
Take
people,
them out.
uh,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah, I
would
know.
hopefully never,
There's plenty of room for another venue in State
Yeah.
College.
exactly.
It could be completely different
So
style. Yeah.
we would love that, but in the next 5 years, um, right now we have help, but it's not always help. I have a lot of friends that
Yeah,
I'll call Friday afternoon. Hey, you got 2 hours?
Yeah.
I'd like to see us, be at a point where we can just offer more and more volume. Right now it's still all right between the two of us, but it's a good and bad problem, and one that we're growing a lot, and we
Yeah.
really have grown quickly. So
Yeah.
5 years from now, I see us doing a lot of the same stuff, just maybe offering even more
With more
services, more
help. Yeah.
items.
yeah.
I mean, something just changed last week. We had somebody call and say, "Hey, I'm coming in from out of town for a tailgate. We don't have any of the stuff. Do you guys offer it?" And I said,
Now we
"Yeah,
do.
we're gonna start offering
And now
tailgate
we have tailgate
packages." And now we have
packages.
tailgate packages.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
it wasn't on our radar 2 weeks ago, and now it makes sense.
Like I said, they
So
give us ideas. Like he was just like, "Hey, do you have this?" And I'm like, "Actually, this is a good idea."
That's
it,
how my business started. I was like, how do I do wedding videography?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we talked with this client the whole way through. He was like, "Do you have this?" And I said, "No, but you know what? I was thinking about it, and let's do this." He got back to me a few days later. "Hey, do you have a generator?" And I said, "Actually, no, but that's a really good idea. And so I'm
Yeah.
going to get a generator. We'll rent it to you even
2 days
cheaper
later.
than I would to someone else because you're the guinea pig." And then we started getting more people asking about them. And
Nice.
so the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's so cool. If someone was like enjoyed the decor stuff and like wanted to jump into like what you guys are doing and they're listening in, what would you like? How would they get started? Like, where would they start? What would they do?
I would say the biggest thing is just grow at like just grow at the rate that you're comfortable with. There was a lot of times that we had the opportunities to jump on things where we could have grown like doubled, but in the end, I think we would have burnt ourselves out. Like you
Mm,
don't want to do that. And then now I think it was like a blessing in disguise where we're like, thank God that we grew at the rate that we did because if you get too big too fast and it's just you and you don't have enough help to handle it, you're gonna burn out.
yeah.
You're not gonna be able to handle the at that capacity. So just grow at the rate that you're comfortable with, and be able to adapt to because the main thing is you have to be able to be comfortable, be able to adapt, and be able to have be able not spread yourself so thin that you're not providing quality work.
Biggest thing I would say is do not underestimate costs. You might look at
Yeah.
something immediately and say, "I could get that for $50 and rent it out for 60. That's it." Well, think about insurance, storage, having an LLC, paying a domain fee.
Yeah.
Once we get vehicles, registration on our vehicles, insurance on the
Sales
vehicles.
tax.
Yeah, sales tax.
That's a
Like,
fun one.
hey, I made 10 grand this quarter. Well, don't forget
JK.
you owe somebody else $1,000 of that almost in,
Yeah.
in sales tax. So, just keep in mind, plan everything out, be organized, and you'll make a lot of mistakes. We
Yeah.
found a lot of things out along the way.
And my biggest motto is like you live and you learn. Like seriously, it's how we go. Like we can't fault ourselves if we didn't know something.
Yeah.
We just gotta live and learn, and you
Yeah.
you realize it for next time.
Adapt. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Um, if couples are trying to find the best for them event rental place, hopefully they can have that one stop shop feel, whether it's with you guys or someone else. But like, are there red flags that they should be looking out for in like different offerings or how stuff's packaged or delivered?
I would say definitely if it's if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. You know, we're happy to tell people sometimes, hey, we can do all this, but you want 600 chairs, someone else has to do that, and we'll refer them to someone else. Or you know, we can't do everything. I'm not saying that no one can be a one-stop shop, but there's a lot of great vendors around here that we will send other people to,
Right.
because they can do things that we can't. It's really hard to be a total 100% one-stop shop. And most of the weddings that we go to, there's 2 or 3 event rental companies there.
Yeah.
So just be weary that, you know, if it does seem too good to be true, it might be too good to be true. And don't be afraid to shop around. You know, when we show up somewhere with a truckload of stuff and we pass 2 other delivery trucks on our way
Like,
in,
oh.
I'm not thinking like, "Oh, they backstabbed us." I'm thinking,
Yeah. Cool.
hey, I'm glad that, you know, they found them, they got their stuff there, but they found some stuff from
And a
us
lot
that
of
they
times we
could
end up
rent.
like talking with the vendors and we're like, hey, you know, just like, but the other like biggest thing I would say, I mean, is reviews. Look at the reviews. There needs to be reviews. I mean, obviously you start out with 0 when you first start your company, but the biggest thing that you should really pay attention to is the reviews. I mean, we pride ourselves. We ask everybody to give, you know, honest reviews, and you know, we just pride ourselves on all of our reviews that we've gotten. And
We take them seriously, you know.
Yeah.
It keeps, I think it keeps people honest,
Yeah.
because
Oh, for sure.
one person leaving a bad review, sure, you can go and try to clean that up after the fact, but I said to Allie from the beginning, there should never ever be a client that leaves us and has any reason to say, I'm not going to give them a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Because if they have something that we did or didn't do that would make them not want to give us a 5-star review, well, what did we have to do to change that? And
right.
why
What
didn't
can we do to
it?
fix it? Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we really pride ourselves on that, and that's definitely something to look into.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. It's just so tough because it's like couples are doing all of this stuff for the first time.
Yeah.
They generally aren't renting things
Right.
for parties
Yeah.
usually. Like they
Yeah.
might do some, but they're not hiring a videographer for really anything.
Yeah. Right.
So they're just, I feel like they're put into this spot of like, you've never done any of this stuff, so have fun.
Yeah, there
Figure
you
it
go.
out.
Well, and that's what this is for, right?
Yeah, for
Hopefully they
sure.
find
And
your
they're
podcast.
and what's funny too is like we're an event rental company, but it's funny because the amount of time someone texts us and they're like, "Do you know like a DJ or do you know like
Right,
a good
yeah.
cupcake place?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like here's
here's
some
my list,
people."
yeah.
Like, you know, it's like I'm happy to help wherever I can.
Yeah. Well, Rob and Allie, it's been so great having you guys on. Your event rental company sounds so unique. It stands out in my mind. There's like so much customization and even just room for couples to come in and have a unique vision and have you guys be like, yeah, we don't have that stuff, but we'll totally get it. Or we can pull from here and pull from there and just make it happen for the couples that you guys are working with. I appreciate you guys being on. Where can people find and follow your work?
Yeah, so we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and then we also have our website. And so all the handles are just Nittany Valley Events. So we post, that's the biggest thing is if you follow us on there, we're constantly expanding our inventory. So the newest stuff that we get is going to be on our social media pages. So if you're, you know, looking for new stuff, we're always uploading new stuff, new
That's
items.
awesome. And it sounds like couples can go in, they can add stuff to a cart, find out if it's all available, and
Yeah.
start that conversation with you guys from your website, which is so cool. Is there anything, upcoming projects or stuff that you guys are excited about?
Just continuing to build things. The farmhouse tables I mentioned them doing right now, we had 2. Then we needed 6. So I'm just waiting for someone to say, hey, we need 10, and I'll build
Yeah.
4 more.
I'm just excited for the custom pieces that he's making.
but
There's a couple that are coming down the pipeline. So
Yeah, and we're always excited to just get more pictures and more real world examples of our stuff being out. So
Yeah.
we have a bunch of weddings coming up, and we're excited to get pictures back and just be able to share what people are doing with our stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun. Well, it's so fun having you guys on the podcast. I hope everyone listening or watching, I mean, I know I learned a ton. I hope you guys got a ton of value as well. So that's all for this episode of The Preferred List, and we'll catch you guys next time.